happened before stream today. I don't know why my computer isn't making noises, and I tried figuring it out because I'm like, oh, maybe it's still connected to my headset, so I disconnected my headset, and then it's like, we can't find anything to play it on, and I'm like, there's a speaker in the computer, like, I need music in order to bake things, so now it's playing on my TV behind me. Well, life sucks, then you die. Welcome to the stream, everyone. I don't know how well this is gonna work out. I prepared. Don't you worry, I got a bowl filled with, dough that had to sit out for an hour, and I'm like, I will not, prepare anything for an hour. This needs to bake for like 30 minutes too, so I'm like, no. We're preparing things beforehand, but if you guys want the recipe, I'll give it to you. Or it can be my dirty little secret. Anyway, I've only made this recipe once in culinary school, and I have it in my portfolio. The problem is, like, for my portfolios for culinary school, I wrote, like, a portfolio for every class, and there was a new class every 7 days, meaning every 7 days there was one of these bitches due, that literally you just type out everything you did in class every single day, all the notes from, like, the textbooks and everything. So this isn't very accurate because usually I did text-to-speech for most of these portfolios. So it'll say something like, oh, hold on, let me find something that it says weird. Sprinkle melted butter over the whole thing, then sprinkle on cake or what? Hold up, what? I don't know, man. We're gonna have a fun time though. So I have the dough ready. It's chilling. I have long sleeves, so I'm gonna tuck these in so I don't start a fire on myself. I'm fine with starting fires. Arson, a great time, but not if it results in me needing a skin graft. So, we're making apple streusel, so I gotta make the filling because the dough's already made. We're gonna pull the dough really thin. I mean, the first and only time I've made this, I compared it very much so to, human skins, so we're gonna see how it goes, but we need to make the apple filling because that's not something that I have completed yet. So we're gonna need apples, lemon juice, fuck the raisins, we're not adding raisins. Rum, we are adding rum. Do I even have rum? I don't think I have rum. I have caramel vodka. Don't tempt me. Okay, so we're ignoring a good majority of these. What temperature do I need to set the oven? 375 degrees. Oven is heating at 375 degrees, and then we're gonna bake it for 25 minutes. So, apple filling. I gotta cut the apples, which is a lot of work. I don't appreciate it, but I'll do it. Where's my knife? Alright, if you will follow me over here, let me grab a cutting board. I'm just gonna dice these in like a medium dice. Do I remember exactly what a medium dice is? I believe 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. Remember, julienne is 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch by 2 inches. I don't remember anything else. It was always so much, and now it's like, put it at a small dice, and then I'll small dice it. At work, and then my bosses will be like, that is very small. I'm like, yeah, a small dice is like 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch. They're like, that is way too technical. Just cut it into tiny pieces. And that's how I know where I belong. As much as I love like the fancy bougie stuff of baking, if I had to do that in the actual job field that I am in, I would no longer be in the job field I am in. You know, the bougie places, you know, all the places that my culinary school wanted me to go to and pressured me to go to, but I refused because I knew I would have a panic attack every day and I would hate my life. Looking at you, my culinary, what would that have been? I don't know, it was like a student counselor kind of thing. Academic advisor was what it was, I think. So fuck my academic advisor for telling me. She looked me. Look at me. She looked me dead in the eyes and she's like, you know where I think you would be a good fit? The peninsula. Fuck off. You seem like you would be a great fit at the Ritz. What, as the homeless person out front? As the prostitute in the bar? If you say so, but every single, like, high-end hotel that they were trying to get me to do my internship at, they only did internships with those people for 6-month spans. Now, our internship in culinary school only had to be 3 months. Meaning that if I went to any of these fancy places, I would not only have to pay for another term of culinary school to continue my internship that I don't even need to do. They also didn't do paid internships. They're like, you're here to learn. You're not here for money. I'm like, we have a different definition of what a job is, but you know what? If that's how you run your kitchen, go for it. I personally am in it for the money. If any place tells, like, if you go to a job place and they're like, oh, we're really about, like, the environment and the learning aspect of everything, like, the job isn't entirely focused on money, that's some bullshit logic to me. That's the only reason I go to a job. You think I would go to a job if it wasn't paying me? Absolutely not. Hello, Elite Trainer. Welcome to the stream. How am I? I'm doing good. I had off today, went to the grocery store, played an ungodly amount of Stardew Valley, watched an ungodly amount of Grey's Anatomy. A good time all around. And now I'm gonna have a breakfast pastry to eat for dinner. I always do that. I'm like, you know what? One of these days I should just make myself dinner, because usually whatever I make on stream, I will end up just eating it for dinner. And I'm like, that's great, except, sometimes it's like a pie. I can't eat a pie for dinner. It's not a good time for anyone involved. More specifically, says the person that for, like, a solid, like, month of culinary school ate cake for breakfast. Like, what a wild ride. I was in my cake decorating class, and they were like, oh yeah, like, normally it would be like, okay, from 6 a.m. till, like, 1 or 2, and it would be like, alright, you have a cake, like, a decorated cake due at noon, so you are at the end of class or something. And it would be like, oh yeah, like, if you don't think you're gonna get finished in time, then of course you're just gonna skip breakfast, eat cake scraps. Welcome back to down here. So I'm just gonna chop these into quarters. I chopped that one a little too close to the edge. Ah! Is this gonna be the day that I finally end up, like, slicing up my fingers? I haven't done it yet. Like, normally, like, when I get injured, it's not a knife, which is weird, because that's the most logical thing to hurt myself on. I'm also gonna grab a pot while I'm over here, because we're just gonna be cooking this in the same way that we cooked our jam, with the biscuits. The strawberry jam we did, when was that? A couple days ago. Not a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago. So it says I need 4 apples. I did do a half batch of the dough because it seemed like a lot. It's like, oh yeah, like here is, I don't know, every recipe I did in culinary school, it's like, alright, we made enough to feed 40. I'm like, I live by myself. I'm not gonna eat 40 servings of apple streusel. I'm gonna eat 20. Because that's fine. The 40's a little much. I realized that I need to do better with my knife skills. It's been a while since I've had to, like, do knife skilly shit. I thought that would be an interesting video. Like, go back and I gotta see, because I was looking through my old culinary stuff when I was, hold on, let me snip. So I get you out? No, that's fine. But I was looking through my old culinary stuff when I was cleaning out my apartment, and I found a bunch of stuff and, like, old rubrics and, like, grading for, like, practicals and stuff. There was, like, knife practicals where it was like, oh yeah, you have to cut this many things in the span of like 30 minutes and you were like graded on like how precise it was. Like they would literally like bring a ruler and like measure out your knife cuts, and I'm like, that was my prime. I no longer have a prime with knife skills. I'm just like, this is probably as good as it's gonna get baking wise, because I feel like with baking it's a lot less precise, because it usually, anything you cut up usually ends up just turning to mush anyway. It's like, oh yeah, like chop apples for a pie. It's just like, okay, those apples are gonna be mushed by the time they get out of the oven. They're gonna melt in your mouth, so like, what does it matter if they're 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch? It doesn't. I remember one of them was also like supreming an orange. I'm like, I don't think I've done that since I left culinary school. There's been no reason for me to supreme an orange. Which is just basically taking out all the little white stuff on it. Like that like weird kind of skin on the outside, so you just get like the orange part of the orange. That. Alright. I forgot how long it takes me to cut things. But to be fair, half of the prep work of this is already done, and most of the effort now is going into baking it. So I need a little time to fill. We don't got no movie magic of skipping time. Sometimes I think it would be better for these to be like YouTube videos, but then that's so much more work. Like editing and just figuring stuff out. I'm like, no. I can bake live, and then every time I bake live, I'm like, wow. What an interesting time. Oh, go in there. This one, and then the last apple. I'm already sweating because I had to turn off my air conditioner. I forgot these were Granny Smith apples. That's so sour. Alright. I had to turn off my air conditioning because that's how I survive here. Gotta turn it off so you guys can hear me, but I'm also in a kitchen, but also I'm used to being in hot kitchens, but also this is the weirdest outfit I've worn in a hot kitchen. I'm like, oh, it's like 90 degrees outside. Let me put on something that's like a mesh top, and then I'm like, it still has sleeves. What the fuck? Right. Almost there. You guys gotta time me. Do you think I can finish this in 1 minute? Because I definitely don't. Actually, oh. I might if I am allowed to throw pieces of apple on the floor. Which I am allowed to do because this is my own home. I definitely did not cut these in the best fashion, but you know what? It's going into a baked good. So, does that really matter? Right. Last piece. Gotta cut out the seeds. I'm waiting for one day for Twitch to look at me and be like, those knife skills, absolutely not allowed. You're a danger to yourself and others. I'm like, I do this for a living. Not very well, but enough that I feel like I can show the general public. Oh no. I say as apples are wiggling all over the place. And I'm fucking this up tremendously. I mean, the only way to get better is practice, but also, I don't want to practice. Like, it was like, oh, like, in culinary school when we were doing, like, the knife skills and stuff, it was like, oh, like, make sure you practice. I'm like, I'm not gonna go buy a 10-pound bag of potatoes and dice it in my room and then make it into mashed potatoes, which is what they wanted us to do. I'm like, no, I can only eat so many mashed potatoes. You eat a lot of mashed potatoes in culinary school because every time you make something, it's usually served to like the students. So all of a sudden, like you have all of the beginning people, you know, practicing their knife cuts on potatoes, and all of a sudden, it's just you eat mashed potatoes every day. That's how it works. What else do I need in this? It's not just apples on the stove. Apples, raisins. I was gonna add toasted nuts because I still have some more pecans. I think I might just randomly chop some pecans. Hope for the best. Because I'm too lazy to toast them, so I'm just gonna fuck them up a little bit, but melt butter, combine apples, lemon juice, sugar, cinnamon, lemon zest, and cook until tender. Okay. I'm so all over the place. Mashed potatoes are really good, but I can only have them so many times. Also, hello, Squishy. Welcome to the stream. What else do I need? Sugar. I'm gonna go put this knife over there. Always make sure to put your knives on the side of the counters. Do not put your knives directly in the sink. That's how people get hurt. Okay, so I also need sugar. How much sugar? I'm gonna go with 3 ounces. I have a recipe for this, but I am also slightly winging it because I'm changing up the quantity. Hold on. Get you back down here. Look at that. It's a pot. Zero you out, bring you to pounds. Well, technically ounces, but mostly pounds. What did I say? 3 ounces? 3 ounces. That's 3 1/4 ounces. Also good. I need butter, which I actually have like a small amount of butter over here. Hold on. This is my personal butter that I just have sitting out. Wow, what a professional. How much butter? I want to say 2 ounces. Is that 2 ounces? No. Is that 2 ounces? No. Is that 2 ounces? Damn. 1 1/2. Little more butter. Little more butter. Half of the butter is cold, most of it is room temperature, but everything's fine. We're figuring it out. Just dump the whole thing in there, why don't you? Because that's not what the recipe, oh no, because that's not what the recipe says, but I'm also not following the recipe, so. I would add more sugar, but I don't, I want it to be like, you know what, fuck it, that's good. I want it to be like a good consistency, because it can't be too liquidy, because we're going to be putting it in the dough, and the dough is very, very thin. So, I also need to add cinnamon. I'm just gonna add a little shaky shake. A little shaky, shaky, shake, shake, shake. Yeah. Am I adding anything else? I got butter, sugar, cinnamon, apples, lemon juice. I'm also just gonna add a splash of lemon juice. Because at this point, why are we measuring? I've already changed up the recipe mid-making it, so. How much was that? Yeah, that's good. Alright, so. Now I'm literally just gonna cook this until it's tender, because. Tender. Hello, Lord Vortex. Welcome to the stream. Set you guys up here. Yeah, literally just cooking this until the apples are tender. And then we are going to add some nuts to this to give it a little bit of crunch. Maybe a little bit of caramel vodka, who knows? It says add rum, and I know why. It's for the flavor. I was gonna add brandy because I thought I had brandy. Turns out I do not have brandy. But again, caramel flavored vodka, no. Tempted, but no. Maybe. Tempted is what I'm saying. Alright, so the oven is still preheating. Maybe I should toast the nuts. I'm gonna let this cook over here for a little bit. I'm gonna come back over here. I'm gonna grab my knife again because I'm going to chop up some of these pecans to add in the middle. Let me grab a little bowl to put them into. I'm very nervous on how this is gonna turn out because I am excited right now, and there's no guarantee I will be excited by the end of this live stream. No guarantees whatsoever. I'm just gonna use up all of them because I don't have any other idea what I would use these pecans for that I used last stream. Just gonna give them a little choppy chop. So how was your guys' day? How am I doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Got some grocery shopping done. Speaking of the song playing in the background, played a lot of Stardew Valley. Grey's Anatomy is still wild. Everyone's like, damn, remember this doctor that I hated like 2 seasons ago? Yeah, now I'm in love with them. Hey, remember this doctor that I was in love with 2 seasons ago? Yeah, now I hate them. And it's just an endless cycle of, I hate this person. Just kidding, now we're in a relationship. What a wild concept. Also, hello, Evan. Welcome back to the stream. It's not the best chop I've ever done, but when have I ever really done my best here? What is my best, to be honest? I just want to make sure they're not all big pieces, but I think that's good. There's one stuck to the tip of my knife. Rude. I hear bubbling over here. Yeah, we don't want it to be like a liquidy consistency because we're gonna struggle when we pull out the dough. Get all the melted butter off. Just having a fun time. I feel like I might, I don't know, this is just a recipe, this is the recipe that I used with this in culinary school. So I'm afraid to change it because I'm not very confident in this recipe. But I kind of want to add some cornstarch to just thicken it up a little bit. All else fails, that's what I can do. Oh no. I'm trying to like get it through the hole of the handle. Because I've seen people be like, that's what it's used for. That's what it's designed to do. And I'm like, that's some bullshit and we all know it. Because what was that? Alright, anyway, we got some nuts now to add in. Nice little crunch. Considering this is going to be moist apples. Bring you back over here. Welcome to the other side of my kitchen again. I'm going to grab a fork. And I just want them to be fork tender. Not yet. A little bit longer. So, in the meantime, should we start fucking with the dough? I'm not sure I want to start fucking with the dough. Can't tell what that is. Oh, the mark on my side? That is a tattoo. Also, this is a unitard thing that I found at the thrift store, and it's entirely too small for me, so I have to keep like hiking up my skirt. But yeah, that is my tattoo. It's a lilac, if you can see. It goes up to about here. I'm not showing you that part though, but that is my one and only tattoo for now. I want more tattoos. I just don't have like the time or the energy or the money to go right now. Even though I do definitely feel like I have all of those things right now. And if I really wanted to, I could go get tattoos, but I just don't have the energy to right now. But I do want like a full flower sleeve on this side connecting to the tattoo. And then I want the opposite leg, so this is going to be the arm with the sleeve, and then my opposite leg. I want to be patchwork of animals, like cartoon animals, that like tell a story about my life. So like the first one I want is a fox, because when I was growing up, I used to say, I'm afraid of foxes. Or no, when I was growing up, I used to say I was afraid of ghosts. And my mom was like, you're not afraid of ghosts because ghosts aren't real. And I'm like, fine, fuck you, I'm afraid of foxes. And so now I want a little fox on my leg. I had a chameleon growing up who we realized, I bought him and they're like, here you go, here's your brand new bouncing baby boy chameleon. And I'm like, wow, that's great, I'll name him Steve. And then a couple months later, they're like, hey, Steve is actually a Stevie. And she didn't have anywhere to lay her eggs, so she died. And I'm like, great. Misgendering people, it's dangerous and lethal. So I want like a chameleon with like, maybe the trans flag on it. I think would be kind of a funny, subtle nod. Maybe like a couple other things, but I can't think of anything really off the top of my head, but just cute little cartoon animals all the way up my leg, weirdly telling random stories of my life. Alright, so we got the apples. I have mixed in the pecans. I'm gonna let this, actually no, I'm going to put this in the freezer because I want this to be cold by the time we have to put the filling into the streusel, but it's also gonna take me a little bit to get the streusel ready because it's a fun time and I don't know how I'm honestly gonna accomplish it. Oh no. It smells really good though. It smells kind of like, I don't know, anything I see or anything I smell that's like cinnamony, I'm like, oh, that's Christmas. And it's not. It's cinnamon. It's a random flavor. And it's not directly tied to Christmas. However, sumac. The spice sumac, that's the scent of the summer. Alright, I'm actually going to put this in the freezer for a little bit because it's going to chill it faster than the refrigerator, and we want fast. We're fast as fuck, boy. Alright, I'm putting the knife back over there. Rainbow colored chameleon, that would also be very cute. I would like that. Can't think of any real other animal. Well, cats, obviously, but I'm not entirely sure what cat, because I have a lot of cats that are like special and important to me. So like if I get one cat, I'm gonna have to feel like I'm gonna get the rest of them because I had cats growing up my entire life. Like my parents had cats before me. So already I was born into a household with like 2 or 3 cats with a circling or cycling of 2 to 3 cats all the time, my entire childhood. So I've had a lot of cats. But Mason's the bestest, most specialist boy. You! Okay, I don't know what's on my hands, but you can't lick them. Alright, so if we go back down here. Oh, the Cheshire Cat. That would be cool. Yeah, I have a lot of time. Like with the patchwork, that's why I want it to be patchwork, because I was talking to my parents and they're like, oh, you should do it all at the same time so it looks better. I'm like, yeah, but I haven't gone through the entirety of my life yet, so that's why I want it to be patchwork. And eventually I can like fill it in with stuff to make it like tie together, but... Alright, so I'm clearing off this entire space because this is going to be an interesting time. I have to read the directions very well for this. Plus it ain't that cheap. Yeah, you're right. I'm like, I already want to do a full sleeve of flowers. That in itself has got to be at least $1,000. Alright, so place dough on a heavily floured surface, roll out dough to a good-sized rectangle, and brush with butter. Fuck, I need more butter. And I need a pastry brush. Admire my table for a second. I gotta get things. Where are my pastry brushes is the question, though. Do I know? I should. That doesn't mean that that's why I do. Don't question me. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. I say as I do not feel like a professional. I've told the story about my boss making coconut cream pie for the first time and finally exclaiming when she pulled it, or when it's set and she pulled it out of the freezer, she's like, yes, Now I'm finally a real pastry chef, and we're like, you've been in charge of us for at least 5 years. What do you mean now you're a professional? Alright, so I'm going to dust this surface off a little bit. I swear I just cleaned this. Don't scratch the strudel. Professional what? Professional something. I don't know. This is the dough though, and it's something. Alright, so let me throw this plastic wrap away. Let me grab my butter that's slightly melted. Actually, that's a lie. Let me melt it a little more. I'm a professional to a certain extent. Welcome back to another episode of I did not think through my outfit because it is an all black outfit and I will be using a shit ton of flour. Oh shit. My butter. Can you stop exploding? My butter exploded out of the container, so now I don't have a whole lot of butter, but thank you for the positivity. Huh. Does that look right? Honestly, no idea. I made this once a couple years ago. And that's the extent of the knowledge I have right now. Let me move this out of the way. So, I get a good bit of flour, because the dough does look very sticky. And I'm just gonna get in there. I don't think this is right at all. Wouldn't be a baking stream if I did know what I was doing. That is correct. Alright. Get some flour on the top. Oh no. Let me also get a bench scraper, as there's just shit all over my hands. Reaching into my clean drawers. I also need a rolling pin. I did not think that far ahead though. Oh no. It's fine. Everything's gonna be fine, guys. I don't know what you guys are worried about. I'm a professional. You know, it has literally been so long since I've made this, and I only made it that one time. So there's no promises on anything good happening this stream. But honestly, now that I've added a little bit of flour, I can see how I can do this. I do think the dough might be a good consistency. I'll find out. I'm gonna leave the bench scraper actually over here. I'm gonna wash my hands and go get a rolling pin. Just marvel in my beautiful dough, my absolutely beautiful, perfect, gorgeous dough that no one has any concerns about whatsoever, most specifically me, the person making it. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to roll it into a small-ish rectangle. Oh no. I'm already concerned, actually. Okay, it feels... Okay, I think I know what I'm doing. Keyword is think, but it's fine. I'm just gonna roll it out to a... Oh no. Let me get a little more flour. Just pat the dough. Just smack the dough. Need to do a boat drink stream? What is a boat drink? Should I be concerned? Alright. Gently rolling it out so I don't stick everywhere. And once... I'd say that's a good sized rectangle. I think we're done with the rolling, and now we get to the part that definitely looks like I'm making a human skin lampshade. We're gonna pull this literally as thin as it can go, up until you are able to read words and writing on a piece of paper from underneath. So this is gonna be interesting because my table isn't that big, so... just make things with so much alcohol. Honestly, love the idea. I do have like, oh no, it's very sticky. I do have, maybe I should have let this chill longer. It didn't even say chill, it just said let sit for an hour, and I did that. But you want to go like underneath and just kind of pull gently as possible. I'm gonna try getting this up with the bench scraper, but is stuck to the table. Oh no, now it's sticky to my hands. I don't want to rip it. That is like the biggest part of this, is not ripping it, but it is ripped so much already. I forgot my favorite painkillers. Today we are making a drink called the Grim Reaper. All you need is Everclear, a couple shots of moonshine, and about 3 grams of any of your preferred painkiller. Don't follow that recipe. Alright. Oh god, this is awful. I'm having an awful time, guys. My hands are sticky. The table's sticky. Everything's ripping. I mean, it's still gonna be absolutely delicious. I ripped this part off, so I'm just gonna try to attach it again to cover up the holes. Don't mind me, just trying to cover up my mistakes, which I feel like is, I'd say 60% of baking is covering up your mistakes. I gotta wash my hands again. It's just so sticky. I don't want it to stick to my hands and then stick to my hands even more because my hands are sticky and the dough is sticky and everything's sticky. I'm fine with sugar sticky. I'm fine with other stickies. Dough sticky is just not something I like. Because once you've gotten sourdough starter in your arm hairs, you don't want to touch dough anymore. Yet here I am, making you know what? I feel like this might be the best I'm gonna make. I say as I continue to keep going, but ripping it. Honestly, this is the best I got. But you're a professional. Yeah, you think professionals? Oh no, my brush is very, very thick. Do you think professionals will know what they're doing? Enough for a certain extent, but after this, I got nothing. I need more butter because it all exploded in the microwave. Guys, I'm struggling, but honestly, when am I not? Is the real question, so follow me over here. Wow, look at that beautiful floor. Alright, more butter. I'm gonna chop it a little finer. Melts a little faster. Let's go! So how you guys doing? Huh. No, but they're good at faking it. You're right. That is every profession. Every professional profession. Every profession professional. Every single one. Butter's going good. Apple filling, still slightly warm. So I'll shake it up a little bit, put it back in the freezer. Yeah, you're popping now. Don't do that. That's what your brother did, and now he's all over my microwave-safe plate. In my microwave. My brush is also very thick. And like, oh no. I'm ripping it just putting the butter on it. So I think I'm just gonna go with the slappy method. Is the method that seems to be working out the best for me right now. I don't know about you guys, but now I'm having a great time. Before, not so much. The slappy butter method, that's where it's at. I'm also getting brush hairs all in this. It's fine. I eat cat hair, I eat my hair. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, no, I'm counting that as good enough. So now I'm gonna go get the filling. Which it's not like stovetop hot anymore, but it's still slightly warm, which may or may not be a problem. So I'm gonna take this, I'm going to scoop. I need a good scooping spoon. What's a good scooping spoon? A good scooping spoon. I'm gonna scoop this onto the very edge. Huh. Oh no, not the liquid though. We don't want the liquid. We're scooping this onto the very edge of it because we're going to roll it up. I don't know how much I'm supposed to add because again, I ran with this recipe in the end, but I think like that much is good. Let me add a little bit more here, a little bit more here. Like that's a good amount. Got some pecans, got some apples. I might use the rest of this and put them in like, kind of like an apple blossom sort of thing. Make like a really simple pie dough. Put some scoops onto it. I'm getting really good at figuring out how to use leftover baking ingredients because I'll be like, now I randomly have chocolate syrup. What am I supposed to do with chocolate syrup? I'll find it, I'll figure it out. Alright, so now basically I'm just going to take a bench scraper and kind of roll it up. I say as it's still stuck to the table. And this isn't a good table, by the way. This is a table I bought from Walmart when I first moved to this apartment because I had no counter space. So I'm actually going to try this plastic cutting board. So, more likely knowing just enough that no one will question them. That's it. That's what professionals are. They know just enough that you won't question them in their decision. Oh no. I should have floured this beforehand. Let me flour it now. Can't really flour a cutting board on this level though. Get a little bit on the other side. Also, there's flour falling down the crack in my floor, but there's also a piece of paper down there, so it's collecting all the flour. It's a great time, guys. Having a great time. Oh, fuck. Don't look at me right now. You don't need to look at me right now. Let me try. Maybe going from this direction. I don't know. I'm trying my best. Get a little bit more flour on here. Oh my god. Lord Jesus. You know what, now that we're getting to the end, it's not as bad. I'm just kind of doing the flip and fold method, which is interesting, to say the least. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because we're gonna cut slits into it anyway, so the filling can leak out. God, just the sight of this table right now, oh my god. Also, someone give me a high five, come on. High five me, bro! Yeah! I just moved my hand closer to the camera and flour just erupted from my hand. God, the amount of times I wash my hands in a day-to-day is intense. Alright, so I'm gonna get a sheet tray to put in the oven. I'm gonna line it with baking sheet. And I gotta figure out a good way to do this because I want to hold this like this and just kind of push it onto the sheet tray, but I still have to like roll it on. You know what? Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, it could be a lot better, but it's not bad is what I'm saying. You seem very dressed up to be baking. This is my personality. I can't every other day, I bake in a t-shirt and jeans. I don't like it. This is also very interesting, though. You haven't even seen the full sleeve. Hold on. You see this? I got bat wings and I'm still baking. I like to consider it a challenge for myself, to be honest. Also, welcome to the stream. Bro. It's bro now. Alright, so now that I got whatever this monstrosity is on a tray, I'm gonna slice it open a little bit just to let some of the filling leak out, and then it is going to bake for 25 minutes. But basically, this is streusel, so all of the rolling we did is gonna be layers. And the rolling wasn't that good, so we'll see how the layers turn out, but I am going to put this in the oven. 375, bring you back up here so you're not staring at my crotch while I turn on a timer. Would be my preferred thing. I got flour and dough on the ring light. Oh no. Alright. 25-minute timer, right? Yeah, 25 minutes. Honestly, it's probably gonna be longer than that, because this was in a convection oven and I have a gas oven, so we'll see what happens. $25.00. Heck yeah. So that gives me plenty of time to, it's crucial, the topping. I might top it, I might make like a glaze for it, like just like a simple, super simple, like powdered sugar, heavy cream, royal icing glaze, but I got nothing. It's already a mess. My life is already a mess. You can tell everything in my life is a mess just based on how this table looks. But now I have 25 minutes to clean this table. So, how is the best way to do this? Because usually I would just scrape it up with a bench scraper, but there's like texture in this table, which I should have looked at that before. Like, I just want to counter that in a table that doesn't have like little indentations in it, that flour gets all in. I'm also just scratching the shit out of this table because it's plastic and I'm using a metal bench scraper. That's fine. Look at that. Look at all that flour. Would anyone like a snack? Can I offer you a snack? Get that in there. Welcome to the cleaning simulator. Oh no. Not the crack in the table. There's a lot of flour on the floor now. I need a haircut, but I don't know when to get a haircut. And when I say when to get a haircut, I mean I don't know when my boyfriend's coming over next, and I don't know if I want to spend like 4 hours me sitting in a chair and him circling around me cutting my hair. My boyfriend is now working almost 7 days a week sometimes, and I'm like, that's great, you're making money, but also, you don't need that much money. You need me. Alright, let me grab. I don't think these are gonna be good. I think these are just gonna make like a dough on the table, but we'll find out. I think I was supposed to brush the top with butter too, if that's what you meant by topping. But it's too late. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Should be able to send you to the salon. I mean, I can afford to go to the salon. He doesn't have to pay for me to go to the salon, but it's just like the whole thing of like making an appointment and showing up, and then it's just me and this random stranger for like however long it takes to cut my hair. And I keep seeing like, you know, it's like the traditional, like when you see someone go to a hair salon on TV and it's like, oh, they're like talking shit with their hairdresser. I'm like, I don't talk to my hairdresser. Like, I will make small talk in the best way that I am able, but I also don't understand small talk, so I try my hardest. I actually kind of did like my salon that I did go to before my boyfriend started cutting my hair, she was nice. I knew she had cats, and she had a mullet, and she looked very gay. I did like her, but it's also, again, like $80, and I'm like, why would I pay $80 when I can do it myself? I am very much right now trying to figure out how to be, like, super independent. Like, how can I make my own, like, ingredients for things? How can I make my own baked goods? How can I start growing my own plants? Like, I don't want to rely on anyone to do the stuff that, like, is easily available to me. Like, think back to your grandparents' age, and it's like, yeah, you know who walks into the salon, anxiety attack. No, that's literally it. I'm like, my anxiety isn't that bad, and I'm like, hey, are you ready to have a mid-tier conversation with someone for 2 hours? No. Never. I never want to do that. So it's like, oh yeah, I don't know. So I'm just, like, thinking back to, like, I don't know, my grandparents' era, where it's like, oh yeah, like, if you weren't rich, you did it yourself. And I kind of like that, because, like, the government's failing. We're in a recession again. So maybe I should just start learning how to do things on my own. So, like, if it takes a large amount of money and I don't technically have to spend it, that's saving money. What am I saving money for? I don't know. I don't know. I just really like the mentality of, like, if society collapses, I could provide for myself without the need for anyone else. And, like, some things you wouldn't really need. Like, a haircut, yeah, you don't have to look good after the society collapses. But, like, I don't know. I planted a garden this year. Some of this stuff is still alive. Yeah, like, that would be nice. I don't have anywhere to grow things, and I can't grow plants inside my apartment because Mason will eat them, and there's a very fine line between it's like, what's it called, like a Venn diagram with, like, the circles. There's 3 circles. There are places that Mason can get to, places that I can, I will remember to, like, water a plant, like, I will see it, and, like, hey, that's a plant, I need to remember to water that, and places that get sun. If you line up all 3 of those, the middle, that's the perfect place for a plant. Like, somewhere Mason can't get, somewhere it gets sun, and somewhere that I will remember to water it. That space it doesn't exist here in this apartment. Everywhere that sunlight reaches, Mason can also reach, except for the spaces that I'm like, oh yeah, I could definitely put it, like, in the weirdest spot ever, but I wouldn't remember to water it because I'm gonna forget. Window boxes, that would be useful, yes, but that's money. I don't know, I'm just waiting until, hopefully, I'm moving out of this apartment, so hopefully I'll get something with, like, maybe a balcony would be nice. Like, it'll probably be, like, a very small, tiny balcony, but, you know, yeah, it would be nice. And it's, like, you know, really beneficial, because all of a sudden you start growing, like, I don't know, spices, and I don't have to buy any more spices. Potatoes are super fucking easy to grow. I will, as much as I was ranting and raving about mashed potatoes, I can eat potatoes for every meal. Not specifically just mashed potatoes. They have to be in other forms, but if I grow my own potatoes, beautiful. I mean, my dream goal is to, like, get a house out in the woods somewhere and, like, live basically off the grid. Like, grow my own vegetables. I would, hopefully have, like, a little river, go fishing, get some ducks, some chickens, some goats for milk. I could mill my own flour. I could make my own, like, alcohol. That sounds beautiful. I don't want to rely on anyone else, except for the people that I love for, like, support. But, like, besides, like, love and support, I don't need anything else from anyone. Fuck everyone else in that aspect. But, oh no. I want to bring you closer because now it's dishes time. But I'm also gonna check my timer. I got 17 minutes left. You guys, can you stop trying to open my garbage can? That would be great, please and thank you. Knowing your own flowers. Stick to the alcohol in the trade. Oh, milling my own flour. I don't know. It's a nice dream. My parents said if they ever won the lottery, they would buy me a plot of land so I could do this on, and they can, like, live there too. And I'm like, that's great. And they're like, yeah, and for the apocalypse we can build an underground bunker. I'm like, that's even better. Alright, let me start doing some dishes. It's also just so hot next to the oven. I just want to stand back a little bit. Let me put my butter over here. Put the lid on the flour. Check out my Tamagotchi that does not have a name yet. I revived him like 2 hours ago. But no name yet. Everyone hydrate. Yeah. Alright, 16 minutes left. It looks like there's a lot of stuff in the sink, but there really isn't. But also, I don't want to do any of it. You don't want to know why I don't want to do it? Because it's dough and it's sticky. I don't like sticky dough. Why do you... What are you doing? Can I help you? Oh no. Apparently I can't. I mean, apparently I can, but it's not good. I have my problems with every ring light I own. Apparently I just use and abuse my ring lights. Oh no! I didn't break it. Didn't break it. It's fine. It's all good. Call it Monday D1st. I mean, yeah. Why not? Must be... Alright, anyway. It's all sticky. I feel weird doing dishes in this outfit. I feel like I'm gonna get it all over myself. You know how like you walk away from the dishes and you just get like that wet spot on your stomach right below, like right where the sink starts? I'm gonna get that, except... I mean, technically you won't be able to see it because it's all black and it's really hard to see water on all black. Trust me, I know. I don't have any context to share for the trust me, I know, but I feel like there should be. The owner of my restaurant owns a couple other restaurants, and we just had like a celebration for like one of the restaurant's birthdays. And so we got new shirts, but the problem is like every restaurant got like a different shirt for like their restaurant. So like all of them were black except for the bakery. The bakery's shirts were like this weird neon pink. And every time she makes the bakery new shirts, she's like, yes. Or anytime she makes anything new shirts, any of the restaurants, it's like, alright, all of the savory restaurants, you get black tight-fitting shirts. I'm like, wow, that's great, that's my style. And they're like, not the bakery. Yours is gonna be neon pink and see-through. I'm like, I only have so many tan bras. You can't keep giving me shirts that aren't black. It's just like, what? I mean, I enjoy the pink, but it is very much not my style and not my aesthetic. So now, I just have pink work shirts that I never wear. Like I have so many work shirts because I've been working there since 2019 with a small break in between, but I don't want pink shirts, I want the black ones, so I usually end up stealing. Well, not stealing. Usually if we just complain enough, we'll get what we want, and we did this time. So now I have a pink shirt and a black shirt. A good time. Scared? It's not you. It's because I'm doing the dishes. I don't have anything else left to do, and I actually want to I want you guys to see what I see, or I want you guys to see my expression when I pull the streusel out of the oven, because I have no idea how it's gonna work. I feel like it's gonna be garbage, but it could still be good. Like, it's not gonna look pretty. Don't think that I'm gonna pull it out of the oven and it's gonna be beautiful, because it's not. Because the first time I made it, I was in culinary school, and it did not look pretty. But it was good, and I'm like, that's pretty easy. That's a dough that doesn't require a whole lot of rest time or sitting or waiting. Yeah, black ones are, yeah, no, white ones are also bad. Like, I can't, why is, like, every chef coat white? Like, you know we do things here, right? Like, you know we work with food, and food is messy, and occasionally we get it on ourselves, because if we took the time and effort not to get it on our clothes, we wouldn't be as fast as we are, and we wouldn't be as productive as we are. So why do you make the chef coats white? I hated that, specifically in culinary school too, because they're like, hey, if like your chef whites look dirty, like the chef is able to like look at your outfit and determine whether or not they're able to send you home based on your cleanliness. I'm like, ma'am, these are white jackets. I have a chocolatiering class. Yeah, it looks like someone projectile shit all over me, but like, you know it's chocolate because I'm a baking and pastry student. You're gonna make me throw away one of my chef jackets because I got chocolate on it and now it's not clean enough for you? The amount of bleach packets I bought in culinary school, like they should have given me like, oh, like, make them pay for my dry cleaning bill. That's what I should have done. Be like, actually your coat looks a little messy. I'm like, actually, if you care that much, you should pay for my dry cleaning. Pay to get the stains removed. Otherwise, if you don't, then you obviously don't care that much. I wouldn't have said that in culinary school because they would have kicked me out. But I would definitely say that at a job. Because I have worked at places, well, specifically the grocery store I used to work at, where they're like, I'm like, okay, like, what's the uniform? Like, what do I gotta wear? And they're like, polo shirts. I'm like, I don't own any polo shirts. Do I look like the bitch to own polo shirts? No. What? Do I need to go buy my own polo shirts? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, that's great, but it's winter and no one's selling polo shirts. So I literally had to, like, Amazon polo shirts to my house so I could get a job during the pandemic. I'm like, I don't have the money to buy 5 polo shirts for your stupid, if you're, and then like I wore one of the polo shirts to the grocery store and they're like, that's not really the uniform. I'm like, well, if it's not the uniform, then send me home and pay for a uniform because I'm sick of this bullshit. And I also worked there in winter, so it was like, you need a polo shirt, like if you're cold, which I am constantly, if you're cold, you had to wear like a sweater under your polo shirt, but it had to be like solid color, couldn't be a polo shirt, or no. It couldn't be a hoodie, it had to be long sleeves, it had to be solid colored, it couldn't have any writing or patterns on it, it couldn't be a hoodie. I'm like, so now you want me to buy a whole new like wardrobe of sweaters too for this job? Are you going to give me compensation for paying for my uniform? Because not everyone owns these things. And you shouldn't expect people to own these things. And if you want me to start a job and you want me to have something for that job, then you gotta provide it. A wild time. Alright, brush. Good. How long is my timer for? Where did I go to culinary school and did I graduate? I did graduate. I graduated in November of 2019. I went to Kendall College. It's in Chicago. Do not recommend. That's my favorite thing to tell people when they're like, oh yeah, like where do you go to culinary school? I'm like, Kendall, don't go there. Told my uniform was a tax write-off. I should have said that. Or a park. But yeah. So many. You make black ones. Yeah, I don't know. It's like any color you do other than like, I don't know, dark like colors. Even black has its problems, but like really any color is like, oh yeah, stains are gonna show up on this. Like you wear black, flour gets all over it. You wear white, chocolate, and like cocoa powder. Which honestly, I would rather have black because flour is fine. Like you look at someone and you're like, oh yeah, they're wearing an apron, they got white stuff all over them. Flour, like easy. But like if you are wearing like white and like there's just brown powder all over you, they're gonna look at you and be like, what the fuck is that? Because it doesn't make sense. Like, it's more likely that like someone will believe that there's flour all over me than cocoa powder. And cocoa powder is absolutely awful to work with. Like, it's good and it's great, but like it's so fine that like we have fans running in the bakery at work all the time because it's just so hot in there. And so all of a sudden I'll be like walking by with a container of cocoa powder, and I'll walk in front of the fan and I'll lose half the cocoa powder I've measured out because it blew away with the fan. Like, how am I supposed to work in these, how am I supposed to live lack love in these conditions? A wild time. So yeah, cocoa powder is very interesting. I don't like working with cocoa powder. Well, I'll do it, and it's not that I hate it, it's just, like, inconvenient for me. Oh god, unnamed buffoon. Actually, maybe I should just name my Tamagotchi Buffoon. That's his new name now. Buffoon's going to sleep. Everyone say goodnight to Buffoon. Little Z's. A cutie. Turn the lights off, because it's nap time. Oh, I almost slipped. What's with me and almost slipping, well, slipping and almost slipping lately? Is there any way to bring cocoa powder to your workstation? I mean, there is, but it's not like a daily thing of like, oh no, I lose my cocoa powder. It's just like, oh, like, I measured out the cocoa powder too late, so let me like go pour it over, I don't know. It's mostly with like chocolate sauce, because like, we'll be making chocolate. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I'm just saying fans and cocoa powder are either a really bad time or a really good time, depending on whether you want to bake something and or terrorize your friends and family. But if you want to terrorize your friends and family, cocoa powder in front of a fan. My manager, oh my god, my manager is absolutely obsessed with pranks. Like, she made an entire Instagram account dedicated to scaring one of my coworkers. So she loves it, and she was joking. She was just like, oh, maybe we should do like an August Fool's. And I'm like, you can't tell anyone about that, because otherwise it's like, you know, oh, like August 1st comes around, and she's like, oh wait, no, August 1st we all have off. Maybe August Fool's is just some random day in August that no one knows about except for me. I'm like, you're gonna terrorize your coworkers and we're gonna quit. We're not actually gonna quit, but... Dude, April Fool's Day at the bakery, a wild time. My manager literally came in early to make gross flavored cupcakes to prank my coworkers. She made one that was a cupcake and it was pickled onion flavored, meaning she just put a shit ton of like vinegar in everything that she put in that cupcake. And so then our coworker tasted it and then it was really bad. Or she made another one that was chocolate, except she added an ungodly amount of chocolate sauce, or no, not chocolate sauce, an ungodly amount of soy sauce. And she went up to my other manager and was like, hey, someone complained about this cupcake. They said it was too salty. And so she bit into it and obviously just got a mouthful of soy sauce. And she was like, that's disgusting. Like, who did we sell this to? No one. We made it specifically to ruin your day. So now my other manager, who got like the brute of the pranks, was like, I'm just going to take every April Fool's Day off now. And we're all like, that feels entirely fair. Because once you work in a restaurant for a really long time, you just bond with your coworkers so much because you're there together for like 8 to 10 hours a day. So you become this weird, big, happy little family. And of course, weird, big, happy little families prank each other on a daily basis. I've done my good fair share of pranking. I have the ability of crawling into small spaces in the restaurant, which is my specialty. Just crawl into the low boy, tell someone like, oh, there's like something weird going on with this cooler, and I pop out small cabinets in the restaurant I have fit into. So when anyone's like, hey, I kind of want to prank someone, I'm like, what small enclosed space do you need me to climb into? Because I'll do it for a good scaring. I'll do anything for the bit. Dishes are done. Look at that. Look at how clean my kitchen is right now. I mean, don't look too closely because it's not actually that clean, but like, cleaner than normal. Alright, how much longer Strudel have? Come on. 1 minute and 12 seconds. I'm gonna take a little peeky peek. A little sneaky sneak. I think it might be done. I'm gonna wait for the singular minute it has left, but I think it might be done. Also, this is not true right now. Maybe I do want to do this for a stream. Personally, I've never made edibles, but I think they would be banging. Be the best goddamn edibles anyone has ever had. And screw the macarons. Screw my own bakery. I'm making an edibles food truck. Who's gonna stop me? The government? I don't know why the government would stop me. They probably would. They're like, no, you can't be doing that. You are selling drugs. And I'm like, yeah, but it tastes good. Is that the crime? Hold on, I gotta stop the timer. Yeah. Alright, you guys ready for the reveal? It's coming out of the oven. Let's go. Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Like, there's a lot of flour on it, so I probably should have covered it in butter, but it's a thing. How about I'm gonna take you guys off this. Look at that. It's a toasty boy. It doesn't feel too doughy. It feels pretty solid, but I did add a lot of filling into it, so let me turn off my oven. But yeah, it's honestly not that bad. I'm gonna let it cool for a little bit, but that's I did it. I mean, yeah, no, it's not the prettiest, but it's fine. Bro thinks it's beautiful, and I trust your opinion. Trust your opinion. Okay. But yeah, no, this is. I might be able to cut like a tiny slice off before it's cool, because I really just want to get a little nibble on camera so you guys can see. But grab one of these, cut a little slice. It would probably work a lot better if I wasn't holding something. I was actually holding the tray. Hold on. I'll let you see the cutting process. I don't think there's going to be much filling in this end part, so I think I might cut this part off, and then if I can cut it. There we go. There's a little filling in there. Heck yeah. I kind of ripped this right here. There is definitely going to be some holes in it because, again, I baked it, I was trying to roll it out and roll it up on a Walmart tray table thing. But needs vanilla ice cream. What kind of ice cream do I have? You're right. You are entirely right. Fun fact, we make ice cream at my work, and occasionally we'll have, like, a little ice cream left, so we'll put it in a container, and, like, I'll write my name on it to, like, take it home. That says Mandy. But, like, I'll write on it to take it home, and I found this in the freezer. I remember that I made ice cream, and I remember that I had to take this home, but then I forgot about it for, like, 4 days. So I don't remember what kind of ice cream this is. Like, it's vanilla. I know there's stuff inside here, but I feel like it melted in my backpack as I was walking home. So, like, I feel like all the chunks went to the bottom. Oh, wait. I really don't know what ice cream this is, but cinnamon ice cream, pickled onion. No, I'm more afraid of it being cheddar caramel toffee crunch. Is an ice cream flavor we sell, which is vanilla ice cream that we make with cheddar caramel, which is just caramel we make and then add cheddar cheese to and let it sit in there for like an hour, and then you strain out the cheddar cheese so the cheddar cheese taste is in the caramel. That's what I'm more frightened by. I think it might be cookies and cream. And all of the cookies are just at the bottom. Yeah, you can see the little chocolate chunks at the bottom. Yeah, no, my guess is cookies and cream. So it is vanilla ice cream, but just with some, we call them poops at my work, which is basically like the cookie part of the Oreo. We crumble that up and we call it poops because when you make it, it looks like, it sounds like a wild flavor. Oh, it is. We actually did make a pickled raisin flavor that I completely forgot about because it didn't sell. We made some because I think it was like, it might not have been pickled raisin, but it was like brandy, like raisin, something you would imagine like the old, like your grandma or grandpa to eat. And no one bought it. You want to know why? Because it was disgusting. Because frozen raisins are disgusting. So are hot raisins, but my boss is very fond of hot raisins for some reason. We've had some weird flavors. Some of the ones that, like, I remember, like, I've even, like, forgotten about. Because, like, I tell you guys, like, all of our weird flavors. Like, hold on. It's still really hot, so I'm going to set it down. But I've told you guys, like, a lot of the weird things we've done. Like, the pepperoni pizza cupcake, the burger cake, the ice cream hot dog, or the hot dog flavor, the Chicago hot dog ice cream sandwich, like those, wild. But I forget, like, oh yeah, like the brandy craisin crunch ice cream, like, yeah, no, that wasn't good, but it's not wild enough that I remember to tell you guys being like, hey, that was fucking weird. Or the cheddar caramel toffee ice cream, like, that's just normal to me. Honestly, it's not that bad. Like, it's just like a sweet and salty ice cream. But now I'm gonna try this, so get some of the melted ice cream in there. I mean, yeah, that's a breakfast pastry. It's not bad. It is pretty good, yeah. But it's just basically like a more, it's so hard to cut through. It's just like a more intense apple pie. A more not intense, more complex apple pie. But yeah, there's the dough. I don't know if you can't, there's not a whole lot of layers, unfortunately, but you can see the steam, can't you? And I don't know why I can't. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, you can. Look at that. Yeah. That's pretty good. I'm taking a bow for myself. But yeah, that's it. We did a thing. A thing got accomplished. I can finally roll down my sleeves. And in the process of me doing so, I would like to thank you guys for being here and thank you so much for watching. But yeah, sleeve. There. Alright, that's it. Let me show you the final product one more time. But thank you guys so much for being here and so much for watching. Beautiful apple streusel. And I'll see you guys when I see you guys next. Goodbye. You beautiful, sexy, baking bitches. Woo!